Hey guys, welcome to a brand new series entitled Destinations. We're talking about the decisions we make and how they affect where we end up in life. I think one thing that's true is that what's easy to see in a car when you're headed somewhere is difficult to see in life. Because when you're in a car, you think in terms of the direction of your life and where you're headed and the decisions you need to make in order to get there. In life, it doesn't always appear that clear. What we often see as just a decision, God sees as a direction. So I'm going to head to the Montrose campus building, and that's my goal. That's my target. That's my destination. And it makes sense to you, I know, that the choices I make between here and there are going to determine whether or not I actually end up at the Montrose campus building. So what I want to do in this series and beginning in this session is talk to you about where the choices you're making are leading you. I think you would have to admit along with me that no matter how strong my desire is to get to the Montrose campus building, if I don't make the decisions required to get me there, then I can want it all I want and I still won't get there. So here's sort of the big truth we want to bring to you today. That is this: a decision is a direction. When you make a decision, it sends you in a direction. This is no more perfectly illustrated than in Proverbs chapter 7. Proverbs chapter 7, beginning in verse 6, says this: "At the window of my house, I looked down through the lattice. I saw among the simple, I noticed among the young men, a youth who had no sense. He was going down the street near her corner, walking along in the direction of her house, at twilight, as the day was fading, as the dark of night set in. Then out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute and with crafty intent. She is unruly and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. Now in the street, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. She took hold of him and kissed him, and with brazen face she said, 'Today I have fulfilled my vows, and I have food from my fellowship offering at home. So I came out to meet you. I looked for you and have found you. I have covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink deeply of love till morning. Let's enjoy ourselves with love. My husband is not at home. He's gone on a long journey. He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon.' With persuasive words she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her, like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose, till an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death." What we see in Proverbs 6 is an illustration of this truth. You got a young man who decides to go on an evening walk. Nothing wrong at all with an evening walk. However, we learn quickly, the writer of Proverbs says that he lacks sense. He's not really thinking things through. And honestly, we have no indication that he's up to no good. He just happens to take a walk. He goes around a particular corner. He meets a prostitute. Unfortunately, he falls for her seduction and ends up spending a night of passion with her. Now, we read at the end of that chapter that this is basically his demise. He has made a decision that's going to radically alter his life. And we have no indication that he wanted to ruin his life. We have every indication that a night of passion, a night of pleasure, seemed like a good thing to do, seemed like an attractive option. And sadly, you and I are guilty of the very same things. We don't think about where our decisions are leading us. We only think about what the outcome is going to be right now. And if we like the now outcome, we're normally willing to make the decision. And it's so sad how we can end up ruining things for us down the road by making simple choices today. So it begs the question, then I want to ask you, and I've got to ask myself, what direction are the decisions you're making right now leading you in? If you were to evaluate your decisions, where are you headed? Do your decisions lead you to believe that you are headed toward God, further in your relationship with Him? Are the decisions you're making leading you away from God? And I guess I just want to ask, what do you need to do? Once you figure out where your decisions are leading you, what are you going to do about it? We want to help you in this series determine what to do. We want to help you figure out where you're headed and what type of trajectory you're on. So stick with us, and we'll have a great time in this series. We'll see you next time.